Trial attorney and Northwestern University law professor Andrew Stoltmann and trial attorney John Fishwick. Thank you both, gentlemen, for being here. So I think that for a lot of people watching at home, I like to try to get this down, distill it into easy to bite, easy to digest parts. The first decision from the court today to decide that there is some immunity in an official position for president. Does that indeed aid former President Trump's legal battles, especially post-election now?
Yeah, absolutely. Look, I think it's a very, very big win for Donald Trump. And obviously now the case has been remanded back to the lower court to determine what is an official act and whether his conduct with respect to January 6th were official acts. The court gave some guidance, but this is still a really big win for not just President Trump, but really all future presidents as well. The classic example is, do we really want the courts determining whether when President Obama drone strike, individuals during a war and civilians were killed? Do we want that analyzed as to whether that's something that he can be criminally indicted for? I think the answer to that is no. But I do realize, given that it's Donald Trump, given that it's an election cycle, this is perceived as a political win for Donald Trump and for the Republicans, especially coming from the supermajority from the Supreme Court. I can certainly see that perception.
Obviously, John, I want to allow you to respond as well. I mean, this has all been centered around political persecution. Is former President Trump being treated fairly? And now people saying that it's the Supreme Court that is politicized.
Well, Adrian, that's always going to be the case. I mean, the Trump case has put an incredible stress test on our country's legal system. I think the specifics of this case mean if you're the Trump legal team, you're very pleased with this decision. This means in all likelihood, there's no way that there's going to be a trial over January 6 allegations, the charges there this year. Judge Chutkan now has a Herculean task. She's got to sort through this opinion, which is kind of a sliding scale, Adrian, of what is absolute immunity he can't be charged with and what is kind of an unofficial act that he can be charged with. And then there's some in-between acts that are official that he might be charged with, but most likely will not. So it means that the Judge Chutkan is going to have to sort that out. What can stay in the indictment, what can be dismissed from the indictment, that's going to take time. They're going to have to set up a process. And if you're the Trump legal team, no matter what her decisions are before the trial on what he can be prosecuted with, you're going to appeal those decisions. So things are going to be delayed. Oh, no way there's a trial over January 6th in 2024.
I just look at the big picture here, and we were speaking to one of our NewsNation hosts here, Blake Berman, earlier. You've got the Georgia case that is tabled right now. You have this decision by the Supreme Court sending the immunity case back to a lower court in Washington, D.C. for who knows how many months that's going to take. You've got the Mar-a-Lago case that hasn't happened yet, so that's likely not going to impact November. And then you have the hush money trial in New York State, where we could learn sentencing on that one in a matter of 10 days. Andrew, in terms of the big picture here, what exactly is it from a legal standpoint you would advise President Trump's team to do now moving forward, especially with a lot on the line, at least in the near future, if he doesn't win especially?
Yeah, well, look, if he doesn't win, then he has an absolute problem with a number of these criminal charges. Look, in some of these criminal charges, no impact whatsoever. The entire classified document case, that is for conduct that took place after he left the executive office. So that will go forward. Now, obviously, if he wins, and, if he wins the election, he will tell the Department of Justice to stand down on these federal charges. I do think the Atlanta case, state charges are basically dead. I really think the only case that's going to go forward is obviously the New York case that has already happened. That's it in terms of trials before the election.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.